Hey guys, how are we all doing today? Today we've just got the Master Nezarac All Hands Challenge Guide. In this video I'm going to be going over how it is done, the best strategy I found to do it, the team setup, and just some recommended weapons for DPS and ad clearing. So first of all, the way to get this challenge done is you need each player on your fire team to activate one light and one dark node, meaning everyone has to have a part to play in the mechanics process. You can't just have one player running around doing ad clearing the whole time. Everyone needs to activate one light and one dark node each DPS phase. And the easiest way to explain this is that the person who gets the first light orb needs to get the fourth dark node. The one that gets the second light node needs to get the fifth dark node, and the one that gets the third light node needs to get the sixth dark node. And the sixth dark node also needs to be synchronized. They have to be within 5 seconds of each other or the challenge will also fail. And this goes vice versa. If you're on the dark, you get the first and the fourth. So you get the first dark and the fourth light. And just same for all the other ones. It doesn't exactly have to be done that way. Like, the first person can also get the fifth one. As long as they're getting one of each activations on a node, it'll still complete the challenge. Now, the easiest strategy that I've found to follow for doing this is the first runner do his first orb and get hatred off of Nezarac, as he'll be out of the play for mechanics for the rest of the next two orbs. So he can get the first orb and then go straight in for hatred. The second runner is going to stand in the field of light or dark with the first runner and get the buff, and then run straight over to refuge and set up refuge on either side. So your refuges will both be set for both sides instantly. Then second runner will run back, do his orb, and while all that's going on, the third runner can be ad clearing this whole time, mainly taking out the barrier on each side, and then just working on all the other ads until he hears the second orb is being complete. Then he'll run back and do the third orb. You can just speed run this if you are fast enough, but I think our team found it easier to set up the refuges at the start and then find out which one it is, and then after doing the first three on either light or dark, whichever side you're on, we then went and got refuge and then did the other three on the other side just for safety purposes. Now, as for team setup for this one, it isn't as strict as the other ones. You don't exactly need these, but having a couple shackled titans is good for the barriers, as you can shackle them up and stop them from getting their barrier off at all if you don't want to use a barrier stopping weapon. And well locks are also good, so Well of Radiance warlocks are good for DPS when you run out of your heavy, as you can just start throwing your grenades infinitely and they do a decent amount of DPS compared to just using primaries. And if you've got that one hunter buddy, it is also fine to have like one tether hunter on your team for DPS. It's not exactly required, you'll still get the DPS out without it, but having a tether hunter can help. Otherwise, just for recommended weapons, we've got an Arbalist for the barrier colossus, obviously, as that's one of the best barrier defeating weapons. Other than that, you're just going to want some good ad clear weapons, mainly void ones, as you're going to get all of the volatile explosions, and bricks from beyond will also activate off of that. So void weapons are definitely your go-to here, as you're going to want heavy ammo and you're going to want those volatile explosions for taking out the masses of those ads. It's also recommended to have as many void resist mods on as you can possibly, as Nezarac shoots those cleaves at you, and those cleaves are void damage. So if you have as many void resists on as possible, you can minimize the amount of times he absolutely destroys you, as this can one hit you without void resists. I found after I put a few void resists on, I was able to take at least 2 or 3 hits of his cleaves, so definitely put a few of them on, otherwise you're going to be getting destroyed by him, because he just sends them at you and they projectile track onto you. As for DPS weapons, there's a void burn this week, but it isn't really required to have a bunch of void rocket launchers on to kill him. You can get him down without void rocket launchers, as we did in this video, especially considering that void rocket launchers aren't really the meta this season. There isn't too many good void rocket launchers, but if you have a Deathbringer or an Eyes of Tomorrow, you can give that a go and see if that gets you any extra DPS out. Otherwise, as our team was using, we were mostly just using hot heads and bump in the nights, stuff like that, just good rocket launchers basically. with good mods such as explosive light, field prep, and lasting impression. So all stuff like that is the stuff you're really going to be wanting over void rocket launchers, really. Other than that, you're going to want a Gallahorn on, as the Gallahorn is going to give you that extra DPS push that you need from your rocket launchers. There most likely will come a time when you actually run out of heavy ammo in this fight, as the heavy ammo economy, as I've said before, is not too great in this one. So unless you have an Aeons on and you're getting heaps of that, you can try having someone run Aeons, but other than that, you're just gonna, this is why you want to have the well warlocks, because they can go into just throwing their fusions over and over once you get down to that point. As you'll see in this video, we got to a point where not many of us had heavy, so our well warlocks came in great handiness, as I was able to just keep throwing my fusion grenades to get him down in, I think that's basically what we used for last stand. Other than that, you're going to want to run maybe like a fusion rifle in your secondary slot, as that's going to give you pretty decent DPS against him as he gets very close to you for once you've run out of your heavy ammo. Other than that, you're going to want to have the reserve type on for whatever type of rocket launcher you're using. So arc reserves if you're using like a hothead, just because that'll give you an extra few bullets in your rocket launcher, and a surge for that type as well. So an arc surge if you're using a hothead, as that's going to give you extra damage out of each shot of that rocket launcher. Now, as for DPS spots, we ended up trying a few different ones, as you can see in this video, just to figure out where was the best actual spot to do DPS from against him. We ended up trying like on top of the 6th node, as you can see in this, where I'm basically aiming up top there from the 6th, the last node. We tried there, and it was working for a bit, but he didn't get close enough a lot of the time, and he was just, he started knocking us off the back of it. We ended up trying the final node on light, as you can see at the start of this video, but he knocked us off that one quite a bit, making it a bit hard to do DPS. Finally, as you can see right about now in the video, we ended up doing about the 5th node on light, and this seemed to be the best spot where we were able to finally finish him off and take him down. It will most likely take a bit of trial and error, but just find out what DPS spot works best for your team. And other than that, that is basically the end of the video, guys. As you'll see here, we get him into last stand and we're able to finish him off. I hope this video helps you out. I hope it helps you take him out and get your final part of all of the challenges done. If you've been following on week by week, you should have them all done by now and have the exotic sparrow. And other than that, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if this helped, and we'll have more guides like this out in the future. Catch you later, guys. Have a good one.